Holy crap. Episode number 9 of Demon Slayer of the Entertainment District was just effing lit. Like, leave it to Demon Slayer to invoke so many emotions in me and in you as the viewer. Like, literally, the main thing that I want to convey, like, right off the bat is during this whole episode, I was smiling, right? Because you had Inosuke, you had Zenitsu working in tandem, you had Tanjiro finally figuring out that he can blend his breathing techniques in breathing the honey, what is it called? The hashi hagara? I can't say it. I'm not even gonna bother because I'm gonna just F it up. But whatever that is, the fire breathing, the sun breathing, he has that, and then his water breathing technique, and he was able to blend those two techniques because he is so mortally wounded at this point. Like, we don't even know, like, this is beyond adrenaline, this is beyond plus ultra at this point. Like, he has pushed like far and beyond any of the limits that he had. He's broken through, like, at this point normally one person breaks through the first wall, he's breaking through like 4 walls of just like his limits. Like, he has his form, his final form, his Super Saiyan final form, his Super Saiyan 2 final form, Super Saiyan 3 final form. Like, the next thing is like, he's gotta go Super Saiyan God, and then if you might have to push beyond that, especially because our boy Uzui over here obviously lost his arm, or like one of his arms, which is like the worst thing to happen to our boy Tengen over here. And then our boy Inosuke, like, at the end of the episode, he just got scythed. Hopefully it missed his heart, but he just got sliced through the chest. And not only is that a mortal wound, but also this dude's scythe also has poisons as well. So I'm smiling through all of the episode, right? Like, Tanjiro pushes through his limits. He's able to save one of Tengen's wives. I don't remember what her name is. I could go look, but I'm not gonna waste time. You guys know, right? He goes and saves one of Tengen's wives, and I'm just like, yes, he pushed through. Plus ultra, baby. And all this happens, and then, I love how Zenitsu is the word of reason here. When he's not awake, like, he's like a commander. He's so effing good. He needs to have that while awake. Like, he needs to be able to transition that whatever his spirit is right now, he needs to transition that into him awake. And I like how he's been asleep this whole entire time. It's like he's resting but not resting. It's so ridiculous. But anyways, I'm smiling through everything. And then at the end of the episode is where I say, like, leave it to Demon Slayer to then invoke the complete opposite. I'm basically, like, at the end of the episode, I'm frowning. I'm just like, no. And you have a freaking Tanjiro, like, I'm sorry. He sees Inosuke getting stabbed. I'm sorry. He sees Zenitsu having to save his ass right now. And who knows what's about to happen to our boy Zenitsu, because he wasn't paying attention because he was trying to evaluate the situation. So because he didn't pay attention, Zenitsu had to save him. He's like, I'm sorry, man. And then he looks at Tengen. He's like, I'm sorry. And then he sees Nezuko's case falling off his back. He's like, Nezuko, I'm sorry. So, like, oh my god, I don't know what's gonna happen in episode number 10. Like, he's gonna have to bounce back from this. Unless they do something like, I've never seen them do anything like this, but unless they do something like, here's all of what just happened, but maybe they have a moment to where Tanjiro has, like, I don't know, he can see the future for like a minute, you know what I mean? And maybe he sees like 60 seconds in the future real quick about the decision that he's about to make. And maybe they flash back to where Inosuke was about to take the demon's head. And maybe Tanjiro can make a split decision right then and there, and they change what happened. That's one scenario which I don't see happening, but that's a possibility. The next possibility is, again, Tanjiro's going to have to push through that 4th or 5th wall of limits. And he ends up going back and somehow pulling out some breathing, which I don't even know how. He doesn't have stamina for it. He doesn't have, like, he's mortally wounded. His sword is tied to his hand. Like, I don't know what he could possibly do. The only thing I can see is maybe like another third party, comes in to try and save them. Maybe Inosuke's wives are definitely going to come into the scene because now he's extremely wounded, right? Like, I just don't know what's going to happen there. But he's going to have to push through his 4th or 8th or 9th wall to try and, take care of this. He obviously had the power to do it, but I don't know. The alternate thing I can see is maybe he pushes through that wall, and maybe Nezuko comes back into action again, because she was able to kind of rival, the top 6 demons or whatever, like the upper 6. So maybe she comes back into the scene along with Tanjiro pushing through that wall. Like, episode 10 is gonna be nuts, and I just don't know what to expect. But man, this episode, I was happy, I was excited, it was sad, I was conflicted. We had the part of the episode where Tengen is talking to his wives, and the one wife is like, "Oh, after this, we need to go just like live our lives, like we need to just go like retire essentially." And that hit Tengen somewhere here in the heart. But the one thing that she said, though, that hit him even more is that, like, all of us may not be alive when we get to do that. Like, if that's the case, there's no we, it's just whoever's left. Which hopefully that he gets to have that happy ending, especially now because Homeboy just lost an arm or half an arm or something. So, wow. Overall, I mean, this episode was killer. Like, this episode was so good. Like, Demon Slayer, like, they just do so well. Like, this studio just does so well. They're able, the way they animated the fight, the way that they had Zenitsu and Tanjiro working in unison as they were taking the bands on, you know what I mean? Like, they were like opening up the space for Inosuke to go straight down the middle to take off the head. Like, the way that they were working in tandem with the water breathing and the thunder breathing, it was just so awesome to watch. Like, it was just so effing good just to be able to see that. Then you had Tengen sound breathing during the episode too. Like, when they give us that, when they give us those scenes, that Sakuga that they give us, like, it's just like, it's next level, and it's just like my mouth is just like the whole entire time, I swear. So I don't know. That's all I have. This episode is fantastic. I want to see Tengen get out from this. I want to see him go live his life with his wives. I want to see Tanjiro go hit the hospital because he's mortally wounded, bleeding out, everything else. Inosuke was now just punctured in the chest. He's going to have to heal from that. It's going to take a long time now. Whatever ends up happening in Zenitsu, which hopefully is nothing, maybe Zenitsu pulls a win out of his ass. Maybe he breaks through his wall. I don't know. Next episode is going to be nuts, though. Let's see what ends up happening. Well, thank you guys for coming by for another episode review. Although I didn't review too much here, I'm just saying it was lit. Thank you guys for being here. Another crazy episode of Demon Slayer. I'll see you guys next week for episode number 10. Because, man, next week's going to be crazy. All right. Peace out, guys.